This channel's real, this channel's about documenting, this channel's about talking, having an open opinion. And let's get started. Say whoa, say whoa. Say whoa. Head of a horse, the body of a man. Unidentified flying object. Welcome back to another video. What's up, guys? It's me, Do Not Obey, and let's get into another video. Now we're back here again. Lake Lanier, once a thriving black town, and it was destroyed, and people were allegedly hurt, murdered, and asked to leave. And allegedly, a lot of people didn't leave. There's a whole city, town, or however you want to say it, up under the water, graveyards, schools, homes, stuff that we look at today above water. But people still want to swim here. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. A lot of people don't have respect for people, and a lot of them shouldn't because they're not taught, I guess, allegedly. I just don't understand why people think it's okay to, and maybe they don't know the history. You know, we can blame it on, knowledge is power. Because I had to do my research on it. I wasn't brought up knowing about Lake Lanier. I knew about Black Wall Street. And that's the same thing that happened here. The ancestors are going to do what they're going to do. And we have another casualty on this lake because people continue to come swim on a place of tragedy, racism, and just meanness and hate. They do not pick a color. There have been black people, people of color, that have drowned, kids. Anybody who goes into that water, it's disrespectful. And once again, if I do get a chance to go down there, I'm going down there to speak to them, to acknowledge them, and hopefully give them something, just to let them know that I love them. And I'm not okay with this either. Well, let's get into the video. Hope you guys do enjoy it. It's just got me just like, people just don't care, But like I always say, guys, do not obey. Stay woke. Peace.
Going on, y'all. So we have another instance of people who want to test Lake Lanier. So in the evening of Friday, July 4, 2025, at 7 p.m., a 23-foot cabin cruiser boat exploded near the gas dock at Margaritaville at Lanier Islands, specifically in Landshark Cove, which, as y'all know, is a popular area on Lake Lanier in Georgia. The explosion occurred as the boat was refueling while being towed. The explosion caused a massive fireball described by witnesses as shooting 5 feet into the air, followed by a thick plume of black smoke. The flames engulfed the boat, caught fire to a nearby jet ski, and even scorched part of the dock itself. Emergency crews from Hall County Fire Rescue and Gainesville Fire Marine Rescue team responded quickly using a portable pump to suppress and contain the flames. A total of 7 individuals were on board the boat at the time of the explosion, ranging from the ages of 5 to 45 years of age. 5 people were hospitalized. They sustained second and third degree burns. At least 1 victim was airlifted to a nearby trauma center due to the severity of their injuries. A 5-year-old child was among those hospitalized as well. The remaining 2 people suffered minor injuries and were treated on site by emergency personnel. Firefighters worked rapidly to extinguish the blaze and keep it from spreading to additional boats or the full structure of the dock, and medical crews from surrounding counties assisted with the treatment and transportation of the injured. Now, the Hall County Fire Marshal's Office and the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, also known as the DNR, are jointly investigating the cause of the explosion. As of now, no official cause has been released. However, boating experts and officials suspect the explosion may have been accumulation of the fuel vapors, which is supposedly a common incident when engines are started without properly ventilating the fuel compartments, meaning failing to run the blower fan before or after fueling. Now, for those who were raised in the South, those who grew up in the South, y'all know Lake Lanier is notorious for tragic incidents and gained a reputation as one of the most dangerous recreational takes in the U.S.
Another sad death at Lake Lanier. When are they going to just shut this lake down to the public? 27-year-old boy literally just drowned at Lake Lanier. And I know people are like, things like that happen on the lake. It's sad, but it happens. No, there has been over 200 deaths on this lake. That's not including the freak accidents that has happened along the years. And it is because this lake was built on top of a Black thriving community, and there's literally cemeteries underneath. This lake was never supposed to be a lake. And over the weekend, this young man was on a boat with his friends. I believe it was a party. His life jacket was improperly secured and he went underwater, not knowing how to swim. But the crazy thing is, only his life jacket floated to the surface. And officers searched for him until it became dark, and then they had to, resume until the next morning. Using sonar technology, officials located the bodies, which was 60 feet below. The crazy thing is, they just found another body of a man that was 43 years old, and he was a father of 5. But from the year of 1994 in 2024, there has been over 200 accidents on this lake.
They don't want to see us win, prosper. And they'll do anything in their power to stop that. To them, human beings, it's time to stand together.
Yo. People think like Black people be telling y'all lies. We warned y'all about what's going on in the world now. We warned y'all especially about Lake Lanier. I don't know why people don't believe Black folk when they tell you that there's shit out there that people actually survive Lake Lanier. There's documentaries, testimonies, warnings. People literally sat down and said, I almost died out there. And now somebody else is gone. That's right. Dustin Valencia, a father of 5, has been reported that he was training for a triathlon. This is a sad story, y'all.
We're going to learn about Lake Lanier. A man, a father of 5, was found unalived in Lake Lanier. They found his body 51 feet in the water. Divers found him. Y'all are gonna learn about this lake. Since this lake was created, 200 people have been unalived on the lake. See, in 1912, they found the body of a white woman in the forest near Oscarville. That's the town that's under Lake Lanier. They found her in the forest and they said that she was essayed. So a mob of white people called night riders waited until it was dark, went into the town of Oscarville and burned it down. They lynched dozens of people. They bombed the church with people in it. They moved all the Black people. They didn't move. They ran off all the Black people in that town. And while the Black people were running for their lives, a lot of them jumped into a river trying to save themselves, and a lot of them drowned. The Army Corps of Engineers decided to create a lake over this town. There are still structures under the water. There are cemeteries, bodies, bones under that water. The people who lost their lives in that town have never received justice. Some say when you go to Lake Lanier at night, you can hear the whispers of the ancestors. Y'all are gonna learn about that lake and all the other towns that are underwater.
We're learning of 3 different incidents on Lake Lanier.
Stop coming here. Lake Lanier is the site of a horrific events, a horrific time, all right? And then it's basically just been flooded, and all of the energy of all those evil acts that happened there have remained. Why would you go have some drinks and swim there?
Thoughts and prayer to the man. 5 children he left behind.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.